Hello everyone and welcome to the second installment of Marketing Data Modeling Paradox, where I want to talk about history repeating itself when it comes to marketing data silos. Remember the conversation about 10 years ago where marketing data is everywhere? It's in this platform, it's in that platform, in LinkedIn and Google Ads, in your Marketo or your HubSpot or your Eloquent, and there's your CRM and 100 other places potentially where all of your engagement insights live. And we were talking about bringing all of this together, and at the time the CDPs came to power, the marketing data warehouses became prominent as people tried to collect all of that data in one place so that then they can pass it to their marketing data layer, whether it was Power BI or Tableau or some maybe Looker or something else. Well, 10 years passed, or about so, and we're in the age of MCP servers, and we're all excited that every tool out there got their own MCP server. But what nobody talks about is that by pulling that data from Salesforce, from LinkedIn, from your webinar tool, from your ABM tool, on and on and on, you're just getting more marketing data silos at scale because your Agentic AI platform, whether it's Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever that is, right? It'll just augment all of that, and your insights will be at scale, but still flawed. So what I want to talk about is the importance of unifying that data and bringing all of that data together into Agentic ready data layer before you send it to your Agentic work platform of choice. And this is not a popular conversation. However, the token maxing is. So how do you run up your cost in tokens? Well, you decide that you're going to build everything in-house. You decide that you're going to build data pipelines in-house and have Claude or ChatGPT create you all of those dashboards and visualizations. So how does it work? It ingests the data in mass from, say, Salesforce, LinkedIn, massive data tables, hundreds upon maybe thousands of rows of data. And you expect for Claude to run all of the visualizations, make sure that leads are mapped to your accounts, all of the tables are connected, all the joins are correct. So then you can ask your question, show me fill in the blank, attendees of the last 5 webinars. And what you get is a massive token bill and very nominal benefit where your data is only good for so long before you have to add another layer or another source or another fill in the blank. Now, there's a better way of doing that without creating massive token spend, without getting your data governance team worried. And that's where you have all of your data in a marketing data warehouse, kind of like CaliberMind, could be CaliberMind. What we will show you today is very much based on CaliberMind, where once it goes into your Agentic work platform, all the tables are already there. All of the data operations, the unifying, the transforming, standardization, and then making sure that all things are connected properly, appended properly, and all the models that consume so many tokens are already pre-built, where Claude becomes, or ChatGPT becomes, your visualization layer. And then your token spend is very predictable, and what you will get is actually accurate, matches your CRM, can be democratized across the team with insights that actually check out against the real business use case. So follow me, let's look at the demo of what this scenario that I explained with predictable cost, unified, and AI-ready data could yield.
Thank you, Nadia. What I'm going to show everyone today is an MCP server in action. Specifically, we're looking at Claude hooked up to the CaliberMind MCP, and we're going to run a live attribution analysis. We're going to start off broad, and then drill into our top deals and go all the way down to a single opportunity. I've started here with a prompt asking for attribution by channel for all opportunities created within the last 12 months. We're going to look at this data across 3 different models. You can notice here that Claude took my prompt and is doing some interpretation to determine exactly what I mean and which tables to reference to pull the data that I've requested. And here we have our output. What you're seeing here is attribution across the 3 models all at once, a first touch model, a last touch model, and an even weighted model. Let's dive into paid social and paid search. Paid search leads on the first touch model, but paid social takes over on an even weighted model. And so using the same data, and looking at different models, we're able to tell a more complete story that paid search maybe does more to lead that first interaction with our brand that results in an opportunity, but paid social is a little more prominent throughout the broader opportunity lifecycle. And that's the point. The model you pick really changes what you're optimizing for, and multiple models work better together. From there, we're going to take a look at what this looks like for our most recently closed deals. And so to start, I'm just going to ask for the 20 most recent closed won opportunities created within the last 12 months, and some supporting data for each. Okay, so here are 20 most recently closed opportunities. You can see some kind of advanced stats on these, really just the number of marketing touches with each opportunity. You can see the touch depth is not uniform. Some of the opportunities required much more marketing touches than others, and that's just the reality of B2B marketing. From there, though, I'm going to actually ask Claude to analyze these opportunities further. And so here's a simple prompt asking for a breakdown of those marketing touches by channel, looking only at those 20 most recently closed won opportunities. And so this is going to help us understand the channel mix of our most recently closed deals. And some interesting stats you can see here. Paid social is the most prominent, along with paid search. That kind of reflects what we see in the attribution numbers as well. The split across first touch, last touch, and even weighted. And you can see paid social and paid search are still very prominent for our first touch attribution for these 20 most recent opportunities. Paid social still has a lot of attribution when we're looking at the even weighted model as well. So we can see these 20 most recent probably follow along with what we saw from the broader the past year. Really though, it was just a series of prompts there to go from a list of opportunities to some powerful attribution data on those opportunities. The simplicity of that is really valuable to users. Now I'm gonna drill into one of the specific opportunities that we saw in our previous view. We're going to drill into a demo opportunity here for T-Mobile. And we can see Claude worked through our data schema to find the correct data that I needed. And if we come down here, we can see a series of recent touches that led up to the opportunity being created. We can see who performed these different interactions, what that interaction was, what channel actually sourced the interaction, and then, being an even weighted model, but we can see the attributed value to that touch point. And so what you're really seeing here is a new way to interact with your go-to-market data. An MCP gives you the ability to explore this data in a very conversational manner that is very, very usable by any marketer, any, marketing ops or analytics individual. It's just a very, very usable form of interacting with data. And so when we talk about democratizing data, this is really the cutting edge of how to do that, because it is such a familiar interface for everybody to use. But it really only works when the data underneath it is worth exploring, and it's standardized and it's clean. So those kind of key data governance concepts are more important now than ever before. So thanks for taking a look at this with me. This is really what it looks like when the data layer is done right, and we're excited to keep building on this.